Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villa and welcome to episode 89 of Raise the Holte, our bid for world domination with Aston Villa. And today, two big games, really big games, because we have, first of all, hosting Swansea, Premier League Swansea in the FA Cup with you guys, the Regens named after you guys going at that one. And then we go to Manchester City, hoping to get back to winning ways in the Premier League after, well, we lost against Liverpool last time. So away from home, we need to get back to winning ways. Just the one game since last episode against Crystal Palace. And this was a game that we did kind of dominate, to be honest. You can see they only had the one shot on target. But we kind of struggled to find the back of the net. Now, I'd love to say we scored. It was a 30-yard screamer from AR. It was a scrappy goal from a corner. But you guys don't know that. We'll just pretend it was an absolute thunderbolt. But yeah, AR got the goal, 65th minute. It was a deserved win, but we did kind of struggle to get over the line a little bit in that one, which was disappointing. If we have a look at what that means for the league table, and we will see that we are still top, 3 points ahead of Everton. We've got a bit of a queue up behind that with Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester United, and Manchester City. If we were to beat City, I mean they're already kind of too far back anyway. But it would really sort of end their bid, wouldn't it? And you can see their Premier League Swansea, who are playing in the FA Cup, down there in 15th. So a really good test. So far this season, our regen team has been able to beat championship teams, but we lost to Chelsea, which is fair enough. But this is a good test for us, I think, to see how good we are. Now, the other major thing that's happened since last episode. Now, if you remember, we did have what am I looking to do here? I want to go to transfers. We were looking to upgrade at right back. Unfortunately, that has fallen through, and the reason that's fallen through is because PSG offered that guy, what was it, £235,000 a week. What am I trying to do here? If I go to Paris Saint-Germain, if I just do Paris, will it come up for me? Thank you, game. We want to go to players, and there he is there. We offered him 105 grand a week. They more than doubled our best offer. So you can't really blame him. It's a bit of a disappointment, though. He would have been a nice little upgrade on Bree, and of course he only cost 8.75 million. So all that means Bree is still at the club and very unhappy with us. So I've had a look around for some other options. He's unhappy now. There's another defender we can get that's 68 million. I think his release fee is. I'll show you guys here. We're not in the business of keeping secrets. Where is he? He plays in Italy for Sassuolo. I think this is him here. Yeah, this is him. So really, good physically, not as good going forward, but a good defensive fullback, which I think is, not bad for sort of a backup ultimately to Kosic. He has the release fee of 68 million. So basically, I want to get that for Bree, or near enough to that for Bree, and that way he's not costing us that much money for the upgrade. If Manchester United want Bree that bad, then they'll pay it. If not, then, I don't know what we'll do. We'll just have an unhappy Bree for a little while. Alright, so this is the team we're sending out to face Swansea. Gaz Mosley in goal. Casey Beck, Harry Thomas, David Bergkamp II, and the aforementioned Bree. Turpie and Hendry go in midfield. Roberts and Scully go down the wings. Carlos and Walker up top. Didn't mean to do that. Alright, let's get out there and let's see what we can do against the Swans. Now, of course, normally there'd be a goals of the month at the end of this episode. Unfortunately, we haven't really scored any goals. So we've had to cancel it, unfortunately. All right, so Eric Botheim comes back to haunt us, I'm sure, up top. He is their top goal scorer, it looks like, probably with 4 goals. So that seems to be roughly how many he scores a year. What do you want to say here? We should do it for the fans. All right, I can get behind that. Where are we here? Where the favourites go? They give the fans a performance. So calm, we have faith. And let's go win a cup tie, boys. Let's go win it helps, I think, being at home. Just with with the kids. I can't remember when we lost to Chelsea, if we were at home or away. But I mean, Chelsea's a tough game either way, isn't it? Really. So let's just see how we do. As I said, didn't I, when we played Brentford, that I think we've proven that we can beat Championship clubs. I do wonder, it looked like a foul. Yeah, I do wonder if how we would go against a lower Premier League team. And here we go. This is our chance to see how we will go. So relatively even game so far. We do have a few options on the bench, though I do kind of want to just leave it up to these guys to see what they can do. So I'm not really tempted to make too many changes. Here goes Turpie from the corner, knocks it in. It's there. Harry Thomas. Oh, he's a beast from corners. Oh, it's found its way in. Paul Walker's at the end of the scrambles. I thought for sure that was going to be picked up by the goalkeeper, but it's been given. There's no foul there or anything. It looked as though the keeper had to get there. Now, I'm sure it was Harry Thomas that won this first header. because that's just what he does. Keeper's flapped around. The keeper's dropped it, basically. It looked as though it was in his hands, but it's popped out, and Paul Walker, jolly on the spot, is there to bang it home. Excellent stuff. 1-0 to Villa. We'll demand a little bit more, see if we can go on and get a second here. Casey back with the ball. It looked a decent pass, but Paul Walker didn't continue his run. He's got the ball now, though. Can he dink a nice little ball there? Brian Carlos! Oh! Decent effort. Good save as well from their keeper, to be fair. Come on, boys. Let's go. Let's wait to see what happens with this highlight before we give another shout. Scully's done okay there. Sucked in 2 men. Beck has the ball now in for Hendry. Can he turn into some space? He finds Bree. James Bree into the box. Can he pull it back? He can. It's headed away. Hendry. Shoot. Back for Bree. This is good patient play, good pressure. Look at them. They're just sucking into the ball. I wonder if we should exploit the flanks. Try and get down the sides of them. We don't have too much height in the box, which is the only real problem with that. Maybe we go Harry Thomas as a target man. Blake Scully. In for Hendry. We are quite narrow, aren't we? Nick Roberts for Hendry. Hendry pings one across there for Beck. Can he get a ball in? Back post, it's there. Nick Roberts heads towards goal. Oh, it snuck its way in. What is the goalkeeper doing? Nick Roberts, his 5th goal of the year. Casey Beck with another assist. He is an assist machine whenever we play him. We'll go and demand more again. I do not understand. That's a good ball from Lee Hendry, isn't it? A stunning pass. First time cross from Beck. No business scoring from there, Nick Roberts. And yeah, I'm not quite sure what their keeper's doing, to be honest. I'd be really annoyed if I was their manager. There we go. 2-0 just before the break. You know what we might do? Let's go and exploit these flanks. I think we've seen enough that there's a lot of space out there. Get Beck and Bree forward. Roberts and Scully out there in support as well. We could have a little bit of love with that in the second half. Decent enough performance. What do we say at half-time? I hate 2-0 leads. It's just an awkward half-time talk, isn't it? All right, we'll say a passionate, I'm very happy. We'll tell a few guys here that aren't playing well, that they're not playing well. Try and get a little bit more out of them in the second half. No one's playing particularly badly, though, are they? So that's a good thing. I say a third goal, and that should just about wrap it up. Into the 5th round we would go, and at that point, we're not that far from Wembley with the kids. 2 more wins, we'd be halfway there. Obviously, it tends to get harder the longer you go, but we've done so okay so far. Even against the Chelsea, when we played Chelsea in the Carabao Cup, we weren't that bad. There was just a moment here or there that kind of cost us, wasn't it? There's no one really on the bench we want to bring on. The only thing I'm considering doing, Brian Carlos isn't having the best game. We could put Scully up as a striker and then bring on that Portuguese wonder kid winger that we signed that we never really used, to be honest. We might need to look to sell him on. Palmer, he's put a curling effort past Gaz Mosley, and that is a way for them back into the game. I hate 2-0 leads in the team talks at half-time. I never know what to say, and I always seem to say the wrong thing. It's a decent effort, is it? Maybe Gaz could have done a little bit better, moved a little bit late, but there were defenders in the vicinity, so maybe his sight was blocked a little bit. Scully's not having his best game, neither is Brian Carlos. We'll give it a demand more here. Alright, we will make some changes here, I think. Please, game. There we go. We'll bring on Carlos Pedro for Brian Carlos. Make that change. Scully can play as an advanced forward. Yes, he can. Everybody's happy with that. And hopefully a little bit more pace out wide. We might be able to hit them on the break if they are trying to get forward. Let's give it a concentrate here. Just make sure we see this out. We'll just do all the sensible things we need to do at this time of the game. And hope that it pays dividends. We really haven't... Exploiting the flanks really hasn't worked, has it? If we're honest. That may not be the reason we haven't looked as good this second half, but we haven't looked as good this second half. Turpie with the corner in, just over the top of Harry Thomas. Retrieves it nicely. Can he find a teammate? He can. Hendry across there for Turpie. Turpie for Pedro. Can he get across into the box? We've got men in the middle. It's blocked. Turpie should retrieve it, and this should be the end of the match. In for Hendry. He's done a good job controlling midfield, hasn't he? There we go. So that's not bad. The kids have we've beaten a Premier League team there. We've beaten them well. Shame, about the goal we've given up there. Second half wasn't as good, but it was all around a good performance, I think. So there we go, we win against the Swans, we're into the 5th round, a little bit of cash in the bank, but it's insignificant really at this level, isn't it? Anyway guys, wait right there, we're off to Manchester City in the league right next. Right next? Okay, welcome back. It is off to Etihad Stadium. You can see we're not the favourites for this one. They do have a brand new manager in charge, Zinedine Zidane, and we have a poorish record against them as well. So this is going to be tough. Now, before we get to the game, I just want to have you a quick update in the FA Cup. We've got Watford in the next round. Now, Watford, again, they're sort of in that same part of the table as Swansea, at home as well. So we've got to be a chance of going one step further again in the FA Cup. Let's hope we do. Now let's see here. They're a standard passing style, a balanced mentality. As I said, it's Zidane. He's only been in charge for about a month, so we have a rough idea of how they're going to play. But we can't really know for sure. They did beat Arsenal last time out, albeit 10-men Arsenal. We can see the way that they're expected to line up. High up the pitch, lot of space down that one side. That would be what? Our left? So it might be, no, be our right, wouldn't it? It's their left. So you never know, there might be some love to be had for Kosic and who's out there? I think Marin's playing out there. Anyway, let's have a look at the team and we can see for sure. It is Marin that's playing out there because Rashid's picked up a bit of an injury, as has Tonali as well. I'm not sure if this happened last episode or not, but a month out for Rashid, and we know Stilla's out for a while, and Tonali's back soon, so we don't have to worry about it. He'll just miss this one. But the team is, Kosic is not too bad. Okay, so it's Gaz Mosley in goal. It's Nepo, Rodrigo, Forster, and Kosic as the back four. Aya comes in for the injured Tonali. Grealish and Leroy in midfield. Marin and Rodrigo, they provide them with Messi provides the class. I guess in Spanish it would be Messi, wouldn't it? But anyway, we can see the way they're lining up as expected. Marin on the right does okay. It's not obviously his best position, but we're kind of squeezing him in where we can here. Stig says go out there and prove a point. Let's go with... let's give the fans a performance. Over to you. What can we say with a bit of passion here? Show me what you can do tonight. All right, let's go with a bit of passion. Some calm, we have faith. I would have liked to have said I expect to win, but that wasn't an option. It's Grealish's 275th appearance for Aston Villa today as well, so well done to him. I wonder how many games we can get into before he calls it a day. This is an excellent start for Kosic. Gets down the wing and it's a blocked cross, is it? Good. What a first 10 seconds that was. All right, come on, boys. Can we get a nice early goal here? A nice nerve settler. Grealish to knock it in. It's a decent area. It's out there for Leroy. Back for Grealish. Grealish plays it across the box. Oh, De Bruyne heads clear. It's AR. And this is going to, fade out. There's the end of that highlight. But a promising start. Excellent stuff. Let's give it a get creative here. Messi over a free kick now. Knocks it in. It's there. Back post. Rodrigo back into the mixer. It's there for Leroy. Oh, it's Grealish! He caps his 275th appearance with his 4th goal of the year. Jackie Grealish. What a goal. It wasn't that good of a goal, but it's as good as any other when it's the first goal of the game, isn't it? Pinballs in the end. Rodrigo, good header back in. They could never really clear their lines. It bounced around, and Grealish, good reactions to power that thing home. Get in, son. All right, 1-0 to the good guys. Let's see if we... This is one of the bigger stumbling blocks we have left this season, I think. Going away to a dangerous team, even though they're not challenging for the title this year, they are still a very good, dangerous team, aren't they? So if we can come away with even just a point... not to be defeatist, but if we can come away with anything from this game, then that is a big hurdle overcome. Oh, it's a bit of a howling defensive effort at the near post there, and it's 1-1. I don't have a look who that was, but somebody at the near post has missed a header. Is it going to be Rodrigo, or is it going to be Forster? I'm suspecting Rodrigo, or it might have been Forster actually, or was it Kosic? Someone in there has missed a header. And that has cost us massively. All right, come on, boys. We can get that goal back. That's fine. We'll give it a get creative here when we can. Marin's looking nervous playing out there on the right. It's not his natural position necessarily. He's fine. He can play out there. But it's not. He's definitely more comfortable on the left. Blackburn's pulled one back against Everton. Everton are just flying this year, aren't they? Unbelievable. Right, this is looking dangerous. Leroy nicks it off Stones. That's a flashback to Stones of a couple of years ago, isn't it? Rodrigo steps inside nicely. It's there for Marin! Oh, he's missed it! Antonio Marin, goal gaping. And he's put it past the post. We've definitely been the better team here, although our shots haven't been the best, have they? Only 3 on target of 10. That's 30% for you playing along at home. I'm going to say I'm not happy with that. You know, we've done enough that we should be winning this game. We've made a mistake for their goal, and Marin's made a bit of a mistake for the miss too, hasn't he? He's looking nervous, which maybe doesn't help. We do have Andre Green on the bench now. Andre Green is kicking up a stink about wanting to leave. His contract's up the end of this. I think it's the end of this year. His contract's up. Yeah, we're 2025, aren't we? So I don't think Green's going to be around for next year. Need to defend from the corner here. Oh, it's off the line from Jack Grealish. He's scored a goal and he's just saved another. Oh, and it's hacked around and it's a free kick. I am wondering if maybe it's not Marin's game. He's looking nervous. He's already had a bad miss. Andre Green's done well off the bench for us lately, hasn't he? We're going to make the change. Yeah, just not Marin's day today. A little bit worried about Kosic out there with his knock. He should be fine to get to the end. Let's give him another get creative. Blackburn's come back to draw Everton. Now, if that result stands, it makes a draw here an even better result. Alright, what can we change here? Do we look to, I wonder, exploit the flanks? There was a lot of space, wasn't there, on their heat map thing out one side. I forget what it was, our right side, wasn't it? Let's give it a demand more. Can we get a big push for the line here? Do we, for the last few minutes, go big or go home, as they say? AR's not having his best game, so we're going to bring Almeida on for him. We're going to bring the Lab on for Messi. And we're going to go for it. Come on, boys. Come on, let's nick this late. So that's all fine. We'll put Grealish back to support so we don't get too many men going forward. Deep lying playmaker on defend for Leroy now. And let's see what we can do. Can the Lab and Almeida pull a little bit of magic in the final minutes here? Or will we throw it all away? Have we gone too aggressive? Come on, boys. Get creative. Can we do this late? Oh, I didn't click it. There we go. It's, 10 seconds to go. It's unlikely, but you never know. Here goes Jackie Grealish. Come on, son. Out there for Kosic. We have to get the ball in the box and get it in there now. Cross comes in. It's headed away, and that's probably going to be it. Well, 1-1 at Manchester City isn't the worst result. A new manager as well, so their form you expect would improve. It wasn't our best performance. I'll say unlucky, but I think we could have done better. Well, excellent news, because Blackburn's gone and won against Everton, so that's good. I mean, you come back to that Marin miss, don't you? That would have won it for us, and yeah, I mean, we're still in a really good position. Still 3 points clear on top, which is excellent. I just feel like that could have been a little bit better for us. But anyway, guys, that is it for today's episode. If you have enjoyed that, do make sure you hit thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, and we will be back next time for Watford at home in the FA Cup, and then we get back into Champions League action away to Atletico Madrid. A couple of days left of the transfer window. I would still like to make the change at right back. I'd still like to get Bree out the door if we can, and get that Italian guy in. I'm sort of negotiating a deal here if I can. We're trying to get rid of Rabi as well. They wanted to, maybe we'll try and get rid of Rabi because we're not using him. I'm trying to get as much money as we can. It was 14 million, rising to 20, but they wanted us to pay some of his wages still. He's only on 14 grand a week. I don't see why we should have to do that. But yeah, that's sort of what's left to come. We have a lot of money to spend. So I don't need to be too cautious on the transfer front. Financially, we're in a good position. So maybe we don't need to get what's his name, Bree, to completely fund the new right back. Maybe we can just get what we can. But anyway, a few days to go in the transfer window. I'll update you on that next episode as well. But until then, I've been Aussie Villa, and thank you so much for watching. Take care.